Hey guys, gals and non-binary pals, it's Akira here, and today I'm going to show you how I'm able to draw in any art style. Now, before I even begin this video, I want to preface my intentions for it. I'm doing this video because I want to help those who like to do animation, fan art style challenges, or just general art studies. Emulating another artist's art style is a skill set that some artists may need, for instance if you work in animation, or may just want to do for fun. I am in no way talking about the topic on art style theft, as I do not believe I have a fully formed opinion on that subject matter. If you want a video discussing that topic, I'd recommend looking elsewhere. Now with all that said, let's get into the video. When drawing anything, you are required to study and observe from both references and your own life. You do this so that you can understand your subject matter, what commonalities it has with the other subject matters, and what separates it from the others. For instance, take a look at this image from Clone High, and now compare this to the image from B&A. What do these art styles have in common? You wouldn't be able to find many similarities between these two because of how differently the colours, line art, and shape languages are done. Clone High takes a shape language heavy approach with its humanoid forms being exaggerated. They even make some of the characters' faces lopsided to add to the wacky and exaggerated nature of these proportions. Its line art is thick and its colours are flat. B&A, on the other hand, has thin line art, shaded characters, more realistic body proportions, but still exaggerated eyes and facial features, as most anime typically do. They also use a defined colour palette of pinks and blues throughout the show. This all said are just general things you can observe with any art style, but if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, you have to study harder. How are the clothes drawn? Are they flat and fitted to the characters, or are they bunched up in wrinkles? If so, how far does the style go with its intricacies of clothing? How about the hair? Are the lines sharp or curvy? Does it have a particular kind of shading, like in Teen Titans where there's a shine on the character's hair? Are the eyes an oval shape, a circular shape, or a square shape? Is there a certain shading style within the eyes, or are they flat? What textures are used? I could go on, but the point that I'm trying to get at here is that you need to study the art style that you want to draw in order to get the most accurate result. If something is looking off in your drawing, try to analyze your drawing with the original art style side by side and analyze the differences. If you find it's hard for you to find what's off, try asking for other people's perspectives. These could be drawing groups you find, or just your family members and friends. You'd be surprised by what other people can see even if they're not artists themselves. Another thing I'll do sometimes if I want to study an artist's style is to watch them draw. Now, obviously, not all artists do live streams or speed paints, but for the ones who do, it's quite helpful to learn from their own drawing process. Take Bob Ross for example. I watched how he painted rivers with his paintbrush and ended up applying that technique to shading hair with my traditional artwork with Copic markers. I would have never thought about how to draw hair that way without watching Bob Ross's process. You can apply this same logic to emulating other artists' art styles. Now, the next thing that helps me with getting the most accurate result that I can get, aside from studying and practice, is to let go of my own preferences in drawing. You may be wondering what I mean by this. When I say letting go of your preferences, I mean taking a moment to see if something you normally incorporate into your own art style is seeping over into the art style you want to emulate. This could be a certain way you draw bodies, a way you like to shade, or a certain signature texture you may use. These components are fantastic for creating your own art style, but it will hinder the process of you mimicking someone else's. For this point, I'm going to bring up two instances of where I have personally made these mistakes. One being an Invader Zim study I had done a while back, and another being a more recent Lackadaisy study I've done. You can see here in my older Invader Zim art that my preferences of including longer bodies, Dib's ear being triangular instead of square, thin line art, and having rounder faces made my drawings not quite match the official art style. If you look at my Lackadaisy studies, you can see that my first attempt has my personal bias of liking to draw longer bodies again. But when I try again with this character here, it looks a lot closer to the official art style, and that's because I was able to learn from my initial mistake. You can apply this method to your own art style studies. looking over what makes your art style yours and how it may hinder replicating someone else's style. I also just want to reiterate that practice is also very important to any kind of skill. You are typically not going to have a perfect one-to-one on your first try. So please don't be discouraged if your art style study isn't perfect the first try, second try, or even 10th try. It's all about patience, study, and reflection. And there you have it, a very simple way of learning how to draw in any art style. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, then please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I normally make speed paints and art-related commentary videos. I do believe that my next video should be a speed paint of my original characters, and if it is, I'm very excited to share that with you as I've been working very hard on this piece. If you like my art or want to buy a pin or print or just support me, I have an Etsy, Imprint, Patreon, and Artistry. Now, normally this is where I'd end the video, but if you stuck around this long, you get a little bonus this time round. I'm going to give you a little slideshow of some of the art style studies that I've done and have yet to publicly share. So, whilst I'll bid you goodbye for now, the video will continue for just a little bit longer. Make sure to drink some water and I'll see you next time.
Say I'm good-hearted, but I'm just getting started. Got my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty.